Yes, everybody, welcome back to a new update video here on Talking Wolves. Hope you guys are keeping well. We've had some big news, some positive news finally. Is that penny finally dropping for Wolverhampton Wanderers? Who knows? But we had some big breaking news last night, which I will get into. As always, be sure to smash the like button down below and subscribe to the channel. Let's try and hit 400 likes on today's video if we can. But yes, like I said, I was out last night enjoying a few sherbets and we saw Fabrizio Romano. Here we go for Wolves to sign the AZ Alkmaar left back, David Moller Wolfe. You can't get much better than that name. He's literally perfect to join Wolves. I spoke about this guy probably a month to 6 weeks ago. There were very sort of loose links that we were interested in him. But I suppose now this is how Wolves do their best business. Completely out of nowhere, we get an announcement from one of the top journalists that the deal is done. So Wolfe is set to join for around 11.5 million euros, so just shy or just under 10 million pounds, set to be coming to the UK today for medicals. So more than likely he won't be with the squad, obviously for Sunday's game at Girona. But left back, that space now looks like it's going to be filled in the next day or so. I'll try and do a full in-depth video on him as well to give you guys a little bit more of an insight on the player. But yeah, Ryan Aït-Nouri's replacement. What does this now mean for Hugo Bueno, perhaps? He'll want guaranteed minutes. I think, we need rotation. We need depth there. I have no doubt that both players will play a huge amount of games. I have no doubt Hugo will play Sunday and he may well start the season. Yeah, David Moller Wolfe. I don't think he has just Wolfe on the back because that would be cool for the shirt sales. But of course, exciting to finally have a player on his way to Wolves after such a quiet period of rumours. And there was another rumour as well last night because now looks like the left wing back void is filled. Probably still need a left centre back, a right wing back, a midfielder, and maybe a forward player. But the left centre back may well be Robert Renan. Again, another player that I've mentioned previously, a player that's worked under Vitor Pereira previously as well at Corinthians. He was at Al Shabab as well last season with Vitor. And Wolves were linked to him a while ago. Now, he currently plays for Zenit. So I don't know all the sort of ins and outs of being able to purchase from a Russian club at the moment because I think it is quite difficult. But he's been out on loan to Al Shabab. Now, Robert Renan, only 21 years old, left-footed centre-back, ticks a lot of boxes for what Vitor Pereira was looking at as a depth option for Totti Gomez. He was set to go back out on loan again to Brazilian side Bahia on an 18-month loan. However, Wolves have knocked on the door again and said, look, we're still interested. So all the negotiations with the Brazilian club have now frozen. And this puts Wolves in a great position to maybe reignite their interest and bring in Robert Renan. Of course, we don't know payment terms. We don't know whether it'll be a loan for now. But he's a player that Vitor Pereira liked. He wanted originally. And he may well be coming back to Wolves. And that would tick a lot of boxes. But I think as well, a player of that age, that experience, is probably happy to be a depth option for around 12 months or so. Rather than having to bring somebody in who's going to get upset quite early on about lack of game time. But this ticks a lot of boxes for Wolves. And I think this is one that they may well pursue. So hopefully, like I mentioned in the last couple of videos, hopefully now the dominoes are starting to fall into place. One player which we don't really want to see news on is Strand Larsen. I mentioned last week, it was a week ago today, I think, about Newcastle's reported interest in him. One of their journalists now, Craig Hope at the Mail, Daily Mail, has said that obviously now he's caught wind of the news that Strand Larsen is, quote unquote, a dark horse in the race for Newcastle to replace Alexander Isak. Now, of course, they're going to have a big list. Benjamin Sesko was a player they were interested in. Now Manchester United want him. So Jurgen could genuinely be a player Newcastle like. However, for me, it's going to take big money. No fees, no values have been suggested as of yet. So hopefully that's something we don't have to worry about. And he's the number one man at the moment. He's not really got any competition, which we probably do need to address. But hopefully he's a player that does obviously stay at Wolves long term. One player that is in and around the team at the moment is Fabio Silva. It's a weird situation with Fabio at the moment because when I was at the Lens game on Wednesday, I was sat right behind the dugout and Fabio was there. Sam Johnston was sat there with the sort of main sort of staff, and Domenico Tete was there. Whereas players like Yerson Mosquera and Enzo Gonzalez were sat behind me, almost with the directors in like a, it's not a box at Warsaw, no disrespect, but in their sort of corporate area, which I found strange. Like, if Fabio's not ready to play, why is he still, or what? Well, that's what we think. Why is he still sat with a squad rather than with Enzo and Mosquera at the back? I don't know. It's weird. Is there an opportunity? Is there a possibility that Fabio may well stay? I don't know, but still lots of rumours about his future at the moment. AS Roma, again a team that I've mentioned before, reports in Italy yesterday suggesting that they're looking at maybe drawing up a proposal to put forward to Wolves to sign Fabio on loan with an obligation, so they would have to buy him next summer. The issue is obviously Fabio on paper at the moment, he's only got 1 year left on his deal. So for that to happen, Wolves would have to give Fabio a new deal. He would have to agree to it. And then obviously he would go out on loan to Roma. But again, I don't know. There's a small part of me thinks maybe is there a future for Fabio at Wolverhampton Wanderers? I don't know. We got news as well on Wednesday about Nelson Semedo. Now, I think we all knew it was pretty likely that he was going to be moving on. But we saw official confirmation from the player himself on his Instagram. He posted a video, posted a statement. He has now officially signed for Turkish club Fenerbahce alongside Jose Mourinho. Now, what I know is that Wolves were only made aware of Nelson's decision an hour before he put the post out. And for me, I'm fairly sure he was already pictured in Turkey at that point. I don't know, man. Part of me thinks, was Nelson waiting to sign on the dotted line for another club to guarantee his future somewhere before saying no to Wolves and stringing us on for this whole time? Maybe Wolves are daft enough to keep the contract on the table all that time. I don't know. But I don't know. But yeah, just an hour before, Wolves were made aware that Nelson was not going to be staying or not going to be re-signing for Wolves. But there we go. And another little piece of news, Tommy Doyle, of course, out on loan at Birmingham City at the moment. There were lots of rumours whether there was an obligation, an option to buy. That has now been confirmed yesterday by Liam Keane that Birmingham City will sign Tommy Doyle for £10 million if they get promoted from the Championship this season. So there is an obligation to buy if they win promotion at around £10 million. So that is all for today, guys. And of course, Moller, Wolfe, looks like he's going to be the next signing through the door at Wolves. And of course, things can change. Hopefully, we have some more rumours today. Be sure to follow us on all the socials. Hopefully, this afternoon, this evening, we'll be back with the Transfer Podcast to discuss some of these players in a little bit more depth as well. But as always, guys, be sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you on the next one.